You talk too much. That's your problem. You keep running your mouth about what you're going to do. Your plan, your vision, your dream. But let me tell you something. Nobody cares. Not your friends. Not the world. Not even time itself. Because while you're still explaining what you're about to start, someone else already did. And they're lapping you right now. You keep saying you're getting ready. You're not getting ready. You're hiding. All that planning, that research, that preparation, it's just procrastination dressed in productivity's clothes. You think it's progress because it feels like work. But feelings don't build anything. Work does. You've convinced yourself that talking is the same as moving, that thinking about the climb somehow gets you closer to the top. It doesn't. You can stand at the bottom of the mountain all day, describing the view from the peak. But until you start climbing, you're still just another spectator. Here's the truth you don't want to face. Your brain rewards you for talking. It gives you that little hit of dopamine every time you share your plan. That hit is killing you. It tricks you into thinking you've achieved something when you've done nothing. You don't need another conversation. You need action. Stop posting about your grind. Stop announcing what you're about to do. Nobody needs your trailer if you'll never release the movie. Because while you're busy talking about your next big move, someone else is making theirs. And when the results drop, you'll call them lucky. Luck? No, they just shut up sooner than you did. You think the greats got there by talking? They didn't sit around building mood boards and vision statements. They executed. They worked. They failed. They adapted. And then they kept working. You want a secret? There isn't one. It's just repetition. Boring, brutal repetition. Real work isn't flashy. It's not cinematic. It's not the kind of thing you record for Instagram. It's the grind that happens when no one's watching. When you're tired. When it's not fun anymore. That's where growth hides. That's where success begins. Not in the excitement of planning, but in the silence of doing. You avoid that silence because it's uncomfortable. Work exposes you. It shows you how far you really are from where you think you are. It reveals every weakness, every gap, every lie you've been telling yourself. And that's why you keep talking, to drown out the noise of your own mediocrity. But thinking isn't doing. Planning isn't executing. Talking isn't working. Execution is the only language success understands. You can have the most perfect blueprint in the world, but if you never swing the hammer, the house never gets built. Work doesn't care about your excuses. Work doesn't care about your confidence. Work doesn't care about your fear. It only cares about effort. And effort never lies. The people who win, they're not smarter than you. They're not luckier. They just started. They made peace with the fact that failure was part of the job. And they kept going while everyone else was still drawing diagrams. You think you're waiting for the right time? You're not. You're waiting for permission. But nobody's coming to hand it to you. There's no perfect moment. There's no magical window when everything will align. There's just now, and the work you refuse to start. Every minute you wait, someone else is stacking results. Every hour you plan, someone else is building. Every day you hesitate, someone else gets ahead. You say you want to win? Then prove it. With work, not by talking about what's coming next. Not by convincing people you're in your grind era. Prove it by producing something that speaks for you. Because results don't need explanations. Progress doesn't need validation. The work is the loudest voice you'll ever have. When you're good, you don't announce it. People notice. When you're consistent, you don't need motivation. Momentum takes over. You keep searching for the shortcut, the perfect plan that guarantees you won't fail. That plan doesn't exist. The only path is through the work. Messy, uncertain, uncomfortable work. You're going to fail. You're going to look stupid. You're going to fall on your face. Good. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. Failure isn't your enemy. Fear of starting is. Every day you stay in your head, you lose another day you could have spent learning in real life. And while you're overthinking, the clock keeps moving. Time doesn't care that you're not ready. The world moves forward without you. So stop waiting. Stop overanalyzing. Stop trying to perfect what doesn't exist. Start. Messy. Imperfect. Unprepared. Start anyway. Because the difference between dreamers and doers is simple. Dreamers talk about it. Doers shut up and get to work. And you need to decide which side you're on. You can stay where it's safe, where people nod and say, "Wow, you've got big plans." They'll clap for your potential, not your proof. They'll tell you you're on the right path, but deep down, you'll know you haven't even started walking. Or you can vanish for 6 months, disappear into the dark, and come back unrecognizable. Not because you talked about it, but because you did it. You let silence become your weapon. You let progress speak in your place. You let your actions do all the talking. You don't need to announce anything. You don't need validation. You don't need anyone to understand the grind. You just need to execute. In private, in pain, in peace. Because the world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards results. Results are currency. Talk is debt. You're not tired. You're undisciplined. You're not lost. You're lazy. You're not stuck. You're scared. But none of that matters once you start working. Because work burns all of it away. Work doesn't care about how you feel. It doesn't care about your mood, your motivation, or your comfort. It just demands consistency. And if you give it that, it gives you everything. Work builds momentum. Work builds clarity. Work builds you, piece by piece, hour by hour, until the old version of you can't even recognize the new one. And when you finally start doing instead of talking, you'll realize something. Nobody was watching anyway. Nobody cared about your plan. They were all too busy fighting their own battles. So stop trying to be seen. Start trying to be undeniable. Start trying to be effective. Start trying to become the one who doesn't need to say a word, because the results speak before you even enter the room. The progress will show when you disappear. The work will make noise when you don't. So stop talking. Stop waiting. Stop explaining. Shut your mouth. Put your head down and do the work every single day until there's nothing left to prove. Because when the results come, you won't need to say a word. The world will.